Welcome to the final webinar on the OpenChain reference library conversion to Markdown. This doesn't mean the activity is complete. It just means that our initial run through and planning is done. What's going to happen right now is that we're going to go through some of the open items. We've got some pull requests and issues to look at in our repository of Markdown. Before we formally get started, I'm going to show our antitrust policy notice. And of course, as always, this policy notice is designed to give us clarity on how we interact, what the parameters are, and comfort in doing so. Everybody entering the webinar is going to be promoted to a panelist, so you can unmute yourself and talk at any time. I'm also going to adjust our chat so that is available to everyone without restriction for conversation. Okay, with the antitrust notice up and with the note that if you're from a Linux Foundation member company, you can contact our counsel, Andy Updegrove, with any questions. We're going to jump into the meat of it. This call won't be super long today. I'm thinking we're going to do about 30 minutes. The reason for that is that there are quite a few OpenChain calls running throughout today, so I don't want to take up too much time for any of us in play. I'm about to share my screen and to show our open pull requests. Bear with me for 1 second. Okay. So on the line, I see we have Carlo Piana, we have Stephen Kilbane, and we just had Lefuno join us as well from South Africa. We have a couple of pull requests in from Stephen. The first one I want to cover is related to pull request 25. This is also issue 18. It converts the self-certification questionnaire to Markdown. I'm just having a look at issue 18. So as an issue, it seems Stephen noted that there was the activity of doing this, and then he actually completed it as a pull request. Is that right, Stephen?
It is, yes. I didn't see any way to actually claim ownership of the issue.
Well, no, that's, I'll see if I can promote you to an admin, so you have all of that as well.
Okay.
I thought it should have just worked, and I apologize that it didn't. But I think what we'll do here with the...
I'm just got somebody at my door. Sorry.
Not at all.
Deal with that. Hang on.
You're not going to miss anything. I'm just going to say I'm merging the pull request. Okay, for our color for the next step. So this is the self-certification questionnaire merging into our repo. That will allow us now with the self-certification questionnaire in Markdown to begin to work on something very important, which is revising it and improving the questions. It will also allow us to do something else, which is incredibly important, which is fork the questionnaire and use it for our new security spec as well. Naturally, that has slightly different requirements to the current one, which is biased towards our license compliance spec. Okay, let's see where that is. Where's that? I guess that's under, okay, I'm just going to pull it up in our repo to see exactly where that is. So self-certification questionnaire. And there we go. That's the Markdown self-certification questionnaire. So that's now going to be the gold standard for our self-certification questionnaire. The Markdown version will be the key version. The other versions will simply be exports of it. Well done, Stephen. That's fantastic. Stephen, know that there's another pull request. Should be 24. Has that? Oh, that's weird. When I merged one of his pull requests, another one went in. 24 went in as well. That's strange. Okay. We were merging 25, which is the self-certification questionnaire. We had pull request 24, which was about separating out proposed files for conversion from the README. Honestly, I don't know why both pull requests did something kooky when...
Check the list of commits. That should reveal what you have done.
Oh my God, the audit trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they merged together when we closed 25.
That's the first time I see it.
I broke it up.
Yep. There's a thing that unmerges the, but it's quite a. You can reopen the close. You can go back in history and reopen the merge request.
Here we go.
It's something. It never works really well. I mean, in my experience, at least, I'm not the guru on GitHub.
Well, thanks to your catch, I think our problem is solved, because Stephen was saying that if we merged 24, we would lose some of the data about the stuff to work on, which was the self-certification.
Yes, sorry, I'm back briefly. I've got basically people here to fit a carpet, and they arrived at just the right time. But yes, if we merge 24 first, that means that we've got the change to the README and the additional file gets merged in, and then they wouldn't be part of the later merges.
No worries. The good news is that we're just looking at it in the records, so I'm able to pull out what those files are. And the bad news is that, well, it's not bad news now because we pulled out the records. The interesting thing was when we merged 25, 24 auto merged as well.
Okay.
That's fine. Thanks to Carlo, we went into the records and pulled it out. So what's happened, everyone, is that the README is updated, so it's nice and tidy. There were some links in the README basically suggesting material to work on. And those were moved to the Markdown targets for conversion, which is currently not found, interestingly. So I guess I have to create that. Okay, just going to do so. So this particular file will just be a new file, Markdown targets. Okay.
That should have been part of 24, the first merge.
Well, it's weird, right? That it wasn't there. But
let me check that.
Yeah, no worries, because we've got we can pull them out as well. If you're good at GitHub history, that's great. If not, no worries. Okie dokie. Right. So when 24 merged, it didn't seem to automatically merge properly. It didn't create the Markdown targets. As a kind of provisional note around this, it doesn't matter so much. I've just decided to add a Markdown targets file. It's going to contain the information that was ripped out of the old README. Oh, now Markdown targets is appearing. Okay, Markdown targets is working. It's there, but it's not working on this link. Okay, so there's just a link in the README that's not working. I'll fix that. No worries, Stephen. We've I think got this one fixed.
Okay, if I'm doing any of this wrong, by the way, please do let me know, because I haven't got much experience of pull requests on GitHub as opposed to elsewhere.
Not at all. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. And as Carla can attest, we just saw some weird behavior as well, where we merged one pull request and everything went kooky. No, that's perfect. 24 is now working. Our Markdown targets are ready. Everything is good to go. So 24 is in. We have the Markdown targets located. We have the self-certification questionnaire down as Markdown. And we have 3 things more to do: conformance checklist, mergers and acquisitions, and manager's guide. I'm guessing the conformance checklist is where we'll put the emphasis next. And that's where we take the project forward. Now, if I understand correctly, then our current situation is our README is nice and clear about what we're doing. It has suggestions about what to convert next, as well as guidance on the tools to use. The suggestions on what to do next are going to be a moving target. So when someone does the conformance checklist, we rip it out, and so on and so forth. Presumably, if education comes in and say Nathan's team suddenly says, hey, you know, we actually want to depreciate Manager's Guide to Understanding OpenChain, let's not bother with that as the conversion primary target, then they'll swap in something else there. And Bob is our uncle. Is that your understanding as well?
Sounds good.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I can volunteer to translate, to transpose or one of these documents, maybe the most complicated.
That would be great. The conformance checklist, I guess, is the one that's probably the primary one to get working on right now. I'm just going to download it and open it.
Okay, maybe you can. I don't know which is the best option here, but usually what I would do is to open an issue and assign it to me.
Okay.
I think there is some workflow thing, like setting a date, a deadline. That's also with a reminder. That's a good way of using GitHub over Git.
Understood. So in that case, what I'll do is I will take the action item to open an issue, assign it to you for one of the items to translate. I had to look at the conformance checklist, and the conformance checklist is basically a reformatted version of the self-certification questionnaire. So my suggestion is perhaps we skip that. And with the self-certification questionnaire, we'll just finesse this and we move straight to mergers and acquisitions. So what I'll do is assign you mergers and acquisitions then as an issue and hand it over that way.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Can you quickly cut and paste the URL into the?
Of course. Of course.
So you spare me. I'm going to check. Thank you.
Of course.
Very nice.
Going to open an issue now.
All right. Okay. Yeah, this should be straightforward.
Awesome.
Images, nothing special. My contrast are way more complicated than this. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Maybe somebody has the sources of these files, because it's another good idea is to use SVG over just PDF, over just this should be a PNG or JPEG.
Yeah, I can have a look for those sources, and we can definitely seek.
Because SVG can it's quite easy to change a thing if somebody misses, and SVG can be put into GitHub as well. So it's we take it to the next level.
Got it. I will try to find the original images, and that what I'll do is I'll work on converting what I've got from that document into SVG.
In case if you have the sources and it's like InDesign or something, there's a safe option to export them into PDF. PDF would retain the elements and can be imported into any other. I use Inkscape, by the way, but which is good enough for this kind of things.
At the moment, I don't have those installed, but I think I've got an Adobe license in the corner, so I can install that as well as Inkscape. So no problem. So I've got the action item to mess with the images here and to come back with the uploaded SVGs.
Good.
All right. So I guess then what we do, guys, is we have a workflow of opening issues on documents and running through them just like this, in which case my next action item, and this is for me, is to add it to this document to explain our workflow. So I'm going to rip out the conformance checklist because the self-certification questionnaire is going to take the place of that. Okay, our reference library. Okay, so that's the basic process. Conversions, open an issue, explain the situation, and assign yourself or whoever's taking charge of the conversion. Convert. I'm just adding that our current one is underway and I'll just pull up which issue 27.
So again, that does raise the question of whether you can assign the issue to yourself.
Yeah, should be. I
Okay.
would like to assign to myself just there. How do we do issue links in GitHub?
I think it's shit. Not the question mark, the other thing. It's exclamation mark.
Oh, okay.
Because it's one is pull request. It differs from GitLab. No, remove the hashtag.
Okay.
Okay, try this.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Nope.
Oh no. What are you doing here? No, you cannot. No. That only works in across, I think, across pull requests and issues. So you can say pull request resolves issue number, or it is or issue it's resolved by pull request number. But I don't think you can do it within the no, because that is not a platform document. It's a document. No, sorry.
Got it. That makes sense. So I'm just gonna put in the whole link. Oh, that's clever. If I put in the whole link, it automatically did it as issue 27. That's cool.
Clever. That's clever.
Thank you, Microsoft. Okay, nice.
I think this predates Microsoft, to be honest. Not to praise too much of Microsoft all things, because it's always dangerous. But yeah, that's quite clever.
That's nice. Okay, so that's perfect. Now we have the flag, how to do it, and we have this document underway, and then we have the manager's guide to OpenChain as another one to put underway. So then I think we're done. Now what I have to do is to go back to our community, tell them that the self-certification questionnaire is in Markdown, and that's the canonical version. Show them this documents to convert approach and ask for someone to step up and do the manager's guide. On our side, there is something that I would say would be useful. Now that the self-certification questionnaire is in Markdown, Oh, it looks pretty too. Ooh. I'm sorry, I've never seen images in Markdown before.
It's a shame that the image isn't transparent, so it doesn't match the background. But then again, if you've got a black background, a lot of those images will disappear into it.
That's right. Ericsson would be completely gone to their horror. Yeah. Okay. So I do have an item for us, which is the self-certification questionnaire is looking okay, but I think we should redo it. And I'm going to open an issue to revise the self-certification questionnaire. And I'm going to ask for your help to look at this document and see if we can improve it. If you can take, some extra time, let's end this call early and there's 5 minutes to improve the language and wording, because some of it is passive voice, some of it's wordy. And I think if we make this snappy and nuanced, very quick and easy, then I think it's going to be useful when we move to saying, oh, we're going to fork this questionnaire for our brand new security spec as well. Okay, so yeah, Carlo, over to you.
Now, one thing you can do to improve, especially if it's a checklist, well, the GitHub variant of Markdown allows for using check marks, which is in the preview you can just check, and the source get checked. It's difficult to explain via voice, but if you instead of the asterisk, you put dash space square brackets with a space, that would be transformed to check mark, and it's sort of kind of cool, and it works in the GitHub and many of the previews translate it into
okay, so let's just try it here. Dash space, and then
is it a dash that or a hyphen? Yeah, but and anyway, hyphen, let's say hyphen space square brackets with a space inside. Yep, that's it.
That's it. Okay, nice. All right.
No, try. Oh, okay. No, this is no. You should be doing that in a preview. Something which is okay.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, that
here you cannot actually check it.
You can't.
But if that's useful in if you have a checklist in the issue, you can check it directly in the preview without even touching the source. That's quite clever. That's the GitHub variant, but it's nice. It looks like more like something you have to check.
That's quite smart.
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'm going to play with that. Maybe what I'll do is, let's say there's the question and we just go, yes. No.
Well, the way to use it will be to change it from being a question to being have done this.
I have.
You do have, yeah.
All right. I mean, that's the last question then. Do we have it in this format? Do you have XYZ? Yes, no. Or we have a documented policy governing open source software. So question or declaration format is the next question.
Well, if you use a declaration format, it will make the overall document shorter by 2 lines per question.
I quite like that. What do you guys think? I quite like that, making it declarations instead of questions. We have a documented policy governing blah, blah, blah.
It also means changing the title from questionnaire to checklist.
Yes, a checklist is more compact.
And it might, take us to somewhere where, sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to check what happens if we do have a document, but it's in a draft format or it's not yet approved. Is that totally not considered?
Oh yeah, this document right here is an editing document. So this isn't going to be the final version on the website, but when this is ready, this will be the final version on the website. And let's say we have this as a checklist. We will probably then just replace our self-certification web app with this checklist in multiple languages.
Yep.
What I'm trying to find out is what the way I'm understanding it, and I've understood it. It's either or. You either have or you don't have.
Yes.
So I'm saying you have this organization that is trying their best to get there, but either it's in a draft format or not approved.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Either or, then it's like you have nothing, but it's not like you have nothing.
That's correct. In our case, people having it underway would not help them finalize their conformance. So we're very happy if they have it underway, but they need to have it complete to meet the requirements of the spec. So the current mental model, and maybe we should make this explicit, is that if you have it underway, that's great. And your goal is to complete that to become conformant. So maybe we should introduce guidance with the checklist, the self-certification checklist, and say, the goal is obviously to make sure you have completed these items. And while you're underway, you can get help to complete them through the community, et cetera, et cetera. Would that be useful, Lufuno?
Yes, I agree with that approach, because if you're going there and you're meeting nothing, it might not be very encouraging. But
Of
at least
course.
that, push me forward, then yeah, it's better than nothing.
That's really good feedback. I'm going to add that guidance to this document right now. And I'm also going to update our GitHub to basically say that the questionnaire is turning into a checklist. This will give us an advantage then when it comes to updating our website. The self-certification web app will disappear and be replaced by online checklists, which can be used in multiple languages. So Lufuno, I'm going to put that guidance in. I'm going to get cracking on turning the checklist questions into checklists, but help would be deeply appreciated as we do this as well. Okay, my goodness, we've actually done something transformative to the project by accident. Thank you all.
Before we do wrap up, I will mention another pull request I've been working on has been adding a contributing.md file. I can't remember whether I've actually done a pull request for that or not, but I think that one will require quite a bit of discussion in terms of what the general process for contributing to all of OpenChain and this repo in particular would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I should really do a PR for that if I haven't already, so that it can be discussed, because I think we'll need discussion before merging.
It would be great to have a PR or an issue opened on that.
There's an issue already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start working on that issue, the contribution file. Okay, let's start working on that. Basically, my take is we should just require everything as CC0 unless it's a case study, because that would align with our project charter.
Good point. I haven't got that.
Yeah. So case studies, what do you think? CC by SA? I think that's probably the best one. So people can share it, but they can't change it.
Is that what the ones are currently?
I think they might be CC by SA. If somebody shares CC 0, that's fine enough. So it's you should say it's you should say the case studies may be CC by 0 SA or less less restrictive. No. So it's CC by SA
and then
or less restrictive.
Okay. And this will allow us, I'm not sure if some of the case studies are completely proprietary or not, but that'll allow us to formalize on CC by SA in the future.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to go back and start working on the questionnaire. I'm going to update our issue on the questionnaire to say it's now becoming a checklist, and I'll start working on the checklist. I'll also add what Lafuno said. Steve, could you take a first run at the contributing MD file?
Yes, like I said, I've done some work on it, and I'll do a pull request for that so people can comment on what I've done so far.
Fantastic. And that's it. Then it's to take it to the list. Carlo's got the M&A guide. Take it to the list and see if someone will pick up the manager's guide and take it to Markdown as well. This project is well underway, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic work all.
Since I've been out of the loop, I don't know what the management guide does, so I'll send you an email. So if it's something I can do, then I'll take it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lafuno. That's fantastic. Well, this ends the irregular Markdown calls. We're going to fold this activity into the monthly calls from now on. So we're going to move to the broader audience with live editing. And probably the next time we do this on a monthly call, we'll be soliciting people's opinions on what documents are a priority for conversion next. Thank you for making this happen. We've got surprising amount of progress here. And I'm looking forward to next steps. Be well all, and have a beautiful day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.